What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Average Garage. Now, I'm filming this for the third time because I keep screwing it up. First time, I was completely out of frame. Second time, I didn't have my GoPro recording, which means the audio would have been trash. So, let's get into this again. Alright, so welcome to all of the US fam and everybody who is not in Australia. Welcome to The Average Garage. This is an Australian channel, Australian engine, Australian Falcon. Welcome, hope you guys enjoy. So let's get into it. So first of all, I want to talk about Dominator Motorsports. Now, I can't stress enough, Dominator Motorsports Australia is wonderful, and they are not affiliated in any way, shape or form to Dominator Motorsports in the US. So there is a lot of bad rap at the moment for Dominator Motorsports in the US, and Michael at Dominator Motorsports Australia is a complete separate entity. So if you are in the US or anywhere around the world, feel free to hit him up. Send him a message and he might be able to help you out. He should be able to help you out. He's a legend. So let's move on. Dominator Motorsports have supported this build, as well as a few other companies such as Atomic and Golby's. You guys have helped me out with some discounts. I'll put that out there at the beginning. Alright, so let's jump into some main questions. What's happening with the Falcon and what's happening with the hoist? Falcon's still there, hoist is still there. The Falcon is getting ready to drop down onto the ground. I'm just waiting for the wheels and brakes to come back from paint. And then I'll be able to drop the Falcon down onto the ground, push it out, and we'll sort the hoist out. I'll probably end up replacing the hoist because it's an investment for myself and the channel. I'll probably take it when I leave here and move somewhere else, all that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, I will probably buy a new hoist, but we'll have to see how funds go and all that sort of stuff. If you want to help out, check out the Patreon. Chuck us a pledge, everything helps. Every dollar helps to go, it goes 100% into this channel. It is not my income. So yeah, that being said, hopefully in the next week or two, I should have the car on the ground and we'll start making some progress on the hoist. And while that's happening, we'll probably be able to drop the motor into the Falcon. So, exciting times. All right, now another big question and the theme of the video, I suppose, is how much does it cost to rebuild a Barra engine? So I just want to point out that all these prices that will appear down here are in Australian dollars and they are full retail price of all the products. So from least to most expensive, I've got this list, but the first one I did mess up. I put 50 bucks for consumables, so your sealants, your fluids, all that sort of stuff. Now, this can easily go well over 200 bucks. It just depends what you already have in your little stash. So, I've put 50 bucks for consumables, which will be around here somewhere. Alright, so everything on this list from Dominator Motorsports did come from Dominator Motorsports Australia. I can't stress that enough, and thank you again, Michael. So, Dominator Motorsports backing plate, that was 80 bucks. Dominator Motorsports oversized head stud washers, also 80 bucks. Then we go into Atomic crank gear, so that's the lower crank gear for the timing chain assembly, 220 bucks. Then we got the ACL bearings, that was the main bearings and the big end bearings, 225 bucks. Dominator Motorsports head stud kit, 250 bucks. Then we've got Dominator Motorsports oil pump gears, also 250 bucks. We've got Atomic piston rings. Now, I'm not sure if these are branded, I can't remember, I honestly just can't remember. They may be Atomic's own blend or they might have made them up from a kit, but they were $295 and all I know is that they're a cast iron lower and a chromoly top. Alright, and then we got the Crow Cams valve spring kit. So that was the valve springs and I think the retainers came with that one, I'm not sure. 400 bucks. Gasket set, so that's the complete gasket set for the whole engine. That came from Golby's. That was $480. The full Atomic timing chain kit, so that's the chain, the tensioners, and the heavy duty, the chain, the heavy duty tensioner, and the guides. That was 680 bucks. Now, the heavy hitter for parts, the most expensive, was the Ford camshafts. So I got two brand new OEM camshafts direct from Ford. That was $960. You could probably squeeze them for the price if yours are pitted and you need new ones. You probably squeeze a little bit, I did. Yeah, just work your magic. But yeah, 960 bucks for the two of them. Now, big question, why did I go stock camshafts. So in Australia, we have very strict ADRs that we have to follow, and because I'm getting this car engineered, I have to meet emissions requirements and power requirements. So it can't pollute too much and I can't make too much power. So just to avoid absolutely any issue as far as the cams, I went stock. Now, yes, they will probably pit out over time again, but I figure I'll probably throw a rod out the side of it before those cams pit out. So yeah, I did choose stock Ford camshafts. Again, they were $960, but you know, I thought that was the best option I could go. Trying to find decent secondhand ones, they're rare as hen's teeth. And yeah, I had 2 sets of secondhand cams and both of them were pitted out, which was a bit of a bummer, but you know, it is what it is, and I made it work, so I just bought some new ones because that was the easiest and most efficient option I had. Now, the biggest cost of this whole sort of rebuild process wasn't actually a part, it was the machining side of things. Labor is expensive and specialty tools. So I didn't do the machining. Woody at High Flow Engines in Balcatta, he did the machining for me. Thank you very much, mate. That was awesome of you. It cost me $1,400. So it may sound like a lot, but he did a lot of work. So everything's been decked, honed, skinned, everything it needs to be. He checked all my valves, made sure they were all straight after they decided to be one with the pistons. So yeah, he checked it all out. He made sure it was all good for me. He installed my valve springs and the valve stem seals, all the other stuff, lapped it, checked it, pressure tested it. Everything's good to go. So yeah, thank you very much again, Woody. You're amazing. Love your work. So that got it off the ground. So yeah, that was the biggest expense, but obviously you can't just do that stuff at home, and if you do, it ain't going to be right. So yeah, if you've been playing along at home with a calculator down here somewhere, you should see that the total cost was $5,370. Now, you may think, Jesus Christ, that's a lot, but considering these motors retail for anywhere between 3 and 8 grand on their own, untouched with 200,000 Ks on them, yeah, go figure. So this is sort of a bit of advice. You could probably build an NA motor. You don't have to go through all of this, but you could probably build an NA motor to a better spec for a lot cheaper. So yeah, I bought the whole FG XR6 Turbo quite cheap, which is why I ended up with the FG XR6 Turbo engine. I didn't plan on rebuilding it, but like I said, it threw the timing chain, so it all came apart anyways, and then I sort of went down the rabbit hole and just rebuilt the whole thing. If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have rebuilt it. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was, but turns out when I pulled it all apart, the piston ring gaps were pretty good. The bearing gaps were pretty good. The bearings weren't chewed up at all, so I could have left the short block as it was and just done the timing chain kit, the head, and yeah, like new head gasket, all that sort of stuff. I could have done all that and it wouldn't have been a drama. But yeah, I had already pulled it apart, so I thought I'll give it a freshen up. It had 250,000 Ks on it. If you looked at the motor, you wouldn't have thought that. But yeah, you know, I was in there, I did it, it's done, I can't complain. So the whole build and the whole premise behind this build was I'm not chasing 1,000 horsepower like a lot of other people. I'm purely chasing a reliable power. So at first, it will have to make stock power for engineering. Once it's engineered, I can turn it up a little bit, but yeah, I won't be going crazy. I just want something that's quick. I can take it to the track, I can flog it around the track, and then drive it home and not have to worry about it. Not be worried that, you know, I'm going to kill it or blow it up or do anything. But I seriously think the trans is probably going to go as soon as I turn the boost up, because that's also got 250k on it, and the ZF, I mean, it's hard to see the sort of the lifespan of them. They vary so much. So you would notice that I didn't put new pistons and rods in. So all the rotating assembly is original, apart from the camshafts, obviously. So the crank and the pistons and rods, they're all stock. They all cleaned up fine. They were pretty good. They should be good for another 250k. And the reason I didn't replace them was pretty much the budget. So I couldn't justify spending that money. I'm not chasing, like I said, I'm not chasing 800 horsepower. So I didn't feel I needed to go there. And if I do later down the track, I'll probably build another motor. So yeah, that's the plans with it. Like, I'm not going mental. I just want something that's nice and streetable and something I can take to the track every now and again. So yeah, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Dominator Motorsports Australia. Thank you, Michael. You've been amazing. If you guys need anything for a Barra, make sure you hit him up. He is excellent customer service and he's always willing to have a quick chat. Atomic Performance, Brad, thank you very much for all your knowledge, mate, helping me through the build and helping me out with some parts and some discounts and stuff like that. Golbies, thank you very much for the discounts as well. Love your work, and you know, you guys were absolutely amazing in looking after me, so I couldn't ask anything more. And Woody at High Flow Engines, mate, thank you very much. Yeah, you were amazing help as well, and obviously I couldn't have done it without you. I would have been chasing an engine shop that's reliable, and you had a pretty good turnaround as well. So thank you very much to everybody involved. If you would like to support the channel, please check out the Patreon. You can pledge as little or as much as you want, and every single dollar helps. Nothing goes into my pocket. It all goes into either camera gear or the cars, something towards the channel, even stickers. I'm going to start selling some stickers off. So yeah, check out the Patreon, and yeah, if you feel like helping out, anything helps. If you don't want to support with Patreon, please watch a couple of ads or click the like button a few times. Drop a comment below. Everything like that helps as well. Make sure you subscribed, especially if you're from the US. Guys, check out the Aussie motor going into the Aussie Falcon. You guys didn't get this Falcon, so it should be pretty cool. Yeah, obviously it is what it is. But thank you very much for watching the build. If you haven't seen the build of the Barra engine, check the description below. I'll put the playlist down there. If you haven't seen the build of the Falcon so far, the playlist will be down in the description. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this gives some insight as to how much it costs to build a Barra. And yeah, hope you all enjoy. Hope you enjoy the future episodes. And stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, like the video, drop a comment, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Cheers, guys.